everyone, it's Merc007 here, otherwise known as Miss Merc. Thank you for joining my board game preview video. Today I want to share with you a wonderful game from Japan that is getting an international release called Aqua Garden by Uchibacoya. In this video I will talk about how to play Aqua Garden and my thoughts. Please enjoy! Uchibacoya is a wonderful company in Japan that has created many beautiful board games like Amalfi. They are also the leading company in Japan making beautiful wooden components for other board games. Uchibacoya keeps moving the board game industry forward by their support of other designers and creating their own games. In 2020, they will be going international with their new game Aqua Garden on Kickstarter. I was able to play the digital prototype version with the designers recently, and it is so much fun. I'm very excited for this game. In Aqua Garden, players are competing to run their own aquarium in the city by adding new cute sea creatures and by advertising their aquarium to the public. It is a 2 to 4 player placement game. It plays in about 45 to 60 minutes. And the player who is the most successful in earning the most points over the designated rounds will win. How to play. The gallery board is set up in the center. For 3 players, place 50 fish into the cloth bag. For 4 players, you will have 65 randomized fish. Draw random fish from the cloth bag and add them to the fish spaces on the gallery board track. Player tokens are placed on the 4 starting spaces. This will determine who goes first each round. The player last on the track goes first. A seaboard is set up to the side with seaweed and coral tokens. Also, draw 5 randomized fish and place them on the seaboard. Milestone cards are placed above the middle board, with the reward sea creatures on top of the cards. The first player that earns the milestone by fulfilling the requirements will get the first victory point space, as well as gain those bonus fish. The next player will get the next tier in the victory point space. Players are given their own aquarium board and an aquarium worker token. The game board has 6 tanks which you can fill up with lovely creatures, as well as an aquarium worker track. Each player is dealt a random event card, which will allow them to earn money every time the employee reaches this spot in the aquarium. There are also extra cards for the advanced version of this game that can be added to add more interesting turns. They are placed to the side with their corresponding cute pieces and can only be bought if someone lands on an advertising space. I'll talk more about advertising spaces later. Let's talk about your oxygen level and your aquarium tanks. These are what your wonderful aquarium needs to earn you money and gain you fame. Sea creatures usually all use oxygen. Each one of your tanks can only house creatures that use up to 4 oxygen. Adding 1 seaweed in a tank will allow you to house creatures that use up to a total of 6 oxygen. So you could put 4 little fish in this tank and only 4 oxygen is used up. At the bottom of your board, it shows you how much oxygen is used per creature. The aquarium tanks have some restrictions. You can only place items into a tank adjacent to your aquarium worker. For example, if they are standing here, you can only place items in this tank or in this tank. Only 1 seaweed and 1 coral can be placed in any one tank. You cannot place 2 seaweeds in one tank. You can't place turtles in a tank without seaweed, otherwise they will starve. So you need to buy some seaweed first and place it in that tank, then place the turtle. And sharks cannot be placed with small fish or turtles because they'll eat them. Once you start the game, you'll pick up these rules quite easily, as they kind of all make sense. In a round, the player last on the turn track will always go next. At the beginning of the game, the person last on the round queue space goes first. On your turn, move your player token on the gallery board to a space unoccupied by another player. Player tokens can never be in the same space. There are two types of spaces on the board: fish space and advertising spaces. Fish spaces. If you move to a space with a fish, take that fish and place it beside your board. Then, move your aquarium worker on your aquarium board 1 to 3 spaces. If you wish to move 4 spaces instead, pay $1. If you wish to move 5 spaces, pay $2. 5 spaces is the maximum movement allowed. Then you can also buy creatures or seaweed from the seaboard and place them into one of your tanks adjacent to your worker. Each item from the seaboard only costs $2. What a bargain! For example, pay $2 to buy some seaweed if you want to place some turtles. Finally, place the fish you purchased into one of the tanks adjacent to your worker. If you move on to an advertising space, you get to advertise your aquarium by choosing one of the ads. Then earn that amount of money for how many sea creatures meet the ad requirements. For example, advertising small fish will net you $1 per pair. Feeding time at the aquarium. This is a way to bring in revenue. Every now and then, your worker will pass this icon here, and then it's feeding time at your aquarium. You always get $1 when you pass this icon. But you can earn more money according to your event card for the creatures in your event tanks. You can only count the creatures from the 2 feeding event tanks here. Each player will have a different set of requirements. So if you plan nicely and place your fish in the event tanks that the public want to view during the feeding event, they will reward you nicely with donations. In this example, you get $1 for your feeding event and $2 for your 2 sets of clownfish and coral. Ending a round. If your token on the gallery board reaches the end of the track, place your token in the available space furthest down. The player on space 4 is the first player to go the next round, so it may be advantageous for you to move your token ahead so you can choose this spot. Once all the players have placed their tokens here, that ends the round. Then the gallery board track is refilled with fish again. At the end of the game, these spaces here will give you victory points also. So the earlier you get here, the more victory points you will get. Scoring. At the end of the game, you will score on many things. First, score according to the fish you have in your aquarium. There is a little scoring key in the middle of the gallery board. For example, a pair of small fish in your aquarium will give you 3 points. Every 3 coins you have will give you 1 point. Then add up all the scores that you achieved from the milestone cards. Finally, add the points from the gallery board turn order track. Then whoever has the most victory points is the winner. Your aquarium is the most famous one in the town. Congratulations! So, what did I think? I only played Aqua Garden once online and I loved it. The theme is quite unique and it's not really a common theme in board games. Plus, everything about the game really makes sense, so it was really easy for you to feel like you were playing that role. We played a 3-player game and everyone was engaged the whole time. I was secretly planning which spaces I wanted to go to meet my requirements, plus also secretly going for the milestone cards. There were so many things I could do in the game that made it so much fun. Plus, you can really plan and think about where you want your employees to go in order to place your sea creatures in the optimal tank. If someone took a fish I needed, no worries. I already had a plan to try something else. So you can play the money strategy or the collector strategy. I played trying to collect as many fish as I could. Even though I barely had any money for most of the game, I came very close to winning. This is definitely a fun game to add to your collection. I highly recommend it. The components are amazing and the illustrations and the artwork are really beautiful. This game will be launching in November 2020 on Kickstarter, so keep your eyes peeled on this one. It's definitely going to be worth it. I've put a link in the YouTube description. Also, you can follow Uchibacoya's Twitter if you're interested in their creations. I'm already making space for Aqua Garden to be in my collection. Well, I hope you enjoyed looking at the beautiful Aqua Garden with me. There are so many other games from Japan I want to share with you. Comment on the ones you want to see. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you like the content. Thank you so much for your support as always. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy gaming!